Hello everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Daggerfall, where we're currently in Privateer's Hold. Hopefully we're going to make it out today. That is the plan. Sorry about it taking so long. I've been meaning to get these out once a week. I just recovered from being sick, so unfortunately this is coming out much later than I wanted it to. But it's here. Here we are. Oh no. No sir, you don't hit me. That's not allowed. Okay, cool. What do we have here? Elven broadsword. I want that. Give me your gold pieces. I don't believe we have any armor on our legs, so let's take that. I think we do have something. Yeah, we've got something better than that. But I will be taking both of those. That. Buckler, let's take that, and a helmet, because why not? Excellent, okay. Aw, damn it, they hurt us. Oh wow, one shot at him. Not bad. Yeah, like I said last time, I don't want to go rushing through, fuck. I don't want to go rushing through, Privateer's Hold. I want to give you guys a good look at what everything looks like. Plus, there's some pretty good loot to be gotten, in the dungeon. Let's take those. Oh. Yeah, I don't need either of you, if that is the case. Yeah, and as you'll see, it'll just pop up with a message that says you can't carry any more stuff, rather than there being a visible counter to see how much it is you're carrying. It's a little bit annoying, because it's hard to tell sometimes how much it is you're carrying until you're carrying too much. Can I? Thank you, game. Oh, and gold has weight, actually, if you didn't know that. Which is why they made a bank in this game. You can, rather than carrying around loads and loads of gold and not being able to carry it, you can instead deposit it in a bank and take a little slip of paper around with you, and then you can access your gold at the bank, and you can get things like houses and ships from there as well, and take out loans and things. It's really quite cool. Anyway. Okay, and let's see if we can rest. Nope. No, we cannot. Do a little bit of backtracking until we can, because I don't want to die. Wow, it really does not want to let me. Good lord. Actually, I should probably save first. Yeah, this game is one of those you want to save as often as possible. Just because You never know what happens. It can spawn enemies while you're resting, which is a pain in the ass. The game can bug out and you won't be able to access certain parts of a dungeon. Just anything. This game is notoriously buggy and terrible for that, so... Oh, wow. Good lord. I'm probably about to die. Honestly. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, probably about to die. I've never had one of these spawn so early on. Wow. Okay. Neat. Anyway, as I was saying, right before I got killed there, the more often you save, obviously, the less progress you lose. When the game does bug out or spawns something utterly obscene in the opening dungeon. Thanks for that, game. I really appreciated it. Very much so. Can we rest now? Thank you. Yeah, like I was saying, I've never had a Wraith spawn in the opening dungeon. That's a little mean, actually. It really is. Please let me out. Thank you. Cool. See, we're already getting better. Or maybe I just am. It has been, admittedly, a long time since I've actually sat down and played this game. But yeah, a lot of the dungeons look like this. Very big, and they're randomly generated, so the computer will go through, it's procedurally generated, so they've got a set number of assets and things that the computer will then put together into the dungeons that you see in the game, and so this is one of the cool open room ones, which is one of my favorite. It's just very impressive, which you can say for a lot of the dungeons in this game. They're very impressive. Now there's a skeleton at the top of these stairs, and I'm quite nervous to take him on, because, yeah, bladed weapons do half damage against skeletons, which makes sense, really, because it's not like stabbing them or anything will really do much harm against them. Oh, wow. Oh, not bad. Okay. Get in. Too cold, that's disappointing. Oh, come on. Don't you have anything good for me? Yeah. Always save after doing something that took any amount of effort. That's rule number one, really. Yeah. I'm gonna rest a minute. Hopefully. Oh, neat. A level up. Let's see. I think we could do with luck, actually. Cool. We're level 2 now. Yeah, that's not so bad. Okay, and we're back here. Yeah, we came up, in case anybody is confused as to where we are right now. We came up here, there was a bear over here, then we killed this guy here. So, yeah, like I was saying before, I've been through Privateer's Hold in every configuration you can imagine. I've spent hours here getting lost and then, you know, just exploring and all of that. Yeah. And here is a classic Daggerfall example of the way that the dungeons are. It's a dead end. It doesn't go anywhere. It's just this, you know, short little 10 or so meter hallway that ends in nothing, for no real reason. The dungeons in Daggerfall are really, they don't make a whole lot of sense in the context of the game. Aw, come on. Why'd you have to go and see me? That was rude. Yeah, the dungeons in Daggerfall don't really make a whole lot of sense. They don't really serve much of a purpose. A lot of them, they're just kind of there to be cool and be explored. Which is interesting because, can I equip that? Oh, nice. I've already got one. It's worth more gold. Oh no, we're stuck. Yeah, they don't really serve much of a purpose. There's no real rhyme or reason for them to exist, for them to look the way they do. I don't know why I opened that door. I knew that it led nowhere. And here we are back out here. Yeah, there's no real reasoning behind it. There's no purpose to why they exist in the world. Unlike, say, Morrowind, where you have, you know, your short little ancestral tombs and things which serve a purpose in the world. They exist for a reason. Hell yeah. Loincloth. They exist for a reason, and that they serve a purpose in the world. And same thing with Skyrim's barrows. You know, they're both meant to house the dead. And even Oblivion's alien ruins and things like that. They all serve something of a purpose in the world and in the story. I'm about to die. I can guarantee it. Oh, wow. Yeah, I like the crest. We'll keep it. Yeah, there's no real rhyme or reason to why the dungeons are here, why they look the way they do. And I would say, to a slightly lesser extent, Oblivion takes the same philosophy towards it of... We already went up this way. Ooh. Hello. Oblivion takes the same approach where they make these big old dungeons simply for the purpose of the player being able to explore them and to get treasure and loot and things. Oh, I swear to God there was a bat there. Whereas in Morrowind and Skyrim, the dungeons are a lot shorter and serve more of a purpose. They aren't meant to be very big, especially in Morrowind. There's no reason for a tomb to be giant and take hours to go through. It's just a little 10-minute jaunt down. But yeah, I think it's interesting that Oblivion went back to a Daggerfall sort of system. Now, there are a couple ways that you can proceed. There's one way where you can climb up this wall or levitate or whatever. There's also a secret way, which I'm not going to spoil for anybody, but this is my favorite personal way. This is one of the more poorly hidden secret doors in Daggerfall, but there are lots that blend in quite perfectly with the wall and are very hard to spot. I'm gonna save real quick and then rest. I'm going to have a different sort of saving system later on in the game once we start getting quests and things, but for right now, I'm just doing it in a numerical sort of order, not really with any kind of purpose. Whereas later on, I'm gonna want to keep a save around for, you know, before we get a quest, just in case the quest gets bugged out, and then right at the entrance, and I'm gonna want to keep those around. Also notice how much each of these books is actually worth. God. Quite a lot, in fact. A lot of them are, and it's very common. I don't want to say it's a mistake, but it's new players will often, when you're filling out the questions in the beginning, opt to keep 100 gold rather than a book, because in later games, obviously, books are worth, you know, maybe 70 or 80, if they're particularly valuable, whereas in this game, you know, you can easily get 300 or 400 gold out of a book. Good lord. You really are being difficult. Okay. I'm very tempted to do something very cheesy, but I don't think I'm going to. We'll see how this fight goes. I'm really considering running away to rest before trying to fight this other one here. But we'll give it one more go, see how that goes. Yeah, a little more moving around makes us a little bit harder to hit, but wow, you really don't want me to be able to carry anything, do you? No, we don't need that. Yeah, but as you can see, there's quite a bit of reason to want not to just charge straight to the exit when it comes to Privateer's Hold, which a lot of people who play this game for a long time will do, because once you figure out where it is, it's really very tempting to skip through all of this and not really have to deal with much of it. But it is quite worth it. You get you can get quite a lot of loot and cool things from it. Yeah, and here we are up here. If we had taken the secret pass, or you know, levitated up here, this is where we would come out. You could go through that door there, or continue. And it should be noted, Privateer's Hold is probably the only dungeon that you'll ever really encounter. Come on. Okay, fine. We'll kill the imp first. Or maybe we won't. Wow, this batters. Privateer's Hold is probably the only dungeon in the game that you'll ever... Yeah, here's a potion recipe. Potion of Slowfall. Pure water, white poppy, black poppy. We'll take that in case I do ever figure out how to do alchemy. This is what the exit here looks like. In case you didn't know, I want to continue exploring a little bit, get a little bit more loot, but if we go out that door, that's how we get out into the wide world. And all entrances and exits look like that. But as I was saying, Privateer's Hold is probably the only dungeon in the game that people will actually know and have played through before and will be able to know their way around. It's quite unlikely that you'll ever really encounter a dungeon twice in the game, unless you specifically go and seek it out. There's another skeleton through here, so I'm being cautious. And he heard us anyway. At least I'm assuming he heard us rather than saw, but I'm not certain. Come on. somehow we encountered a rat, which I missed. I don't remember that rat being there. Silver dye katana, I want to take that. Gimme, thank you. Oh no. Oh wow. $36 gold pieces. What do we have here? Oh, a map. Now maps will... Oh, come on. This scrap apartment shows the location of Kingsley Tower you recorded on your map. So, when we go out into the world, we'll get a world map with which we can travel to various places, but we can only travel to places that we know the location of. And each location is denoted by a dot, a little pixel. So when you can search for places with the little pixel, and I'll show you all that later. And it's already filled up with locations, but you can discover things like maps. There it is. You can discover things like maps throughout the world, which will show you different locations, like the one we just found. Usually they show things like dungeons that you would not otherwise have access to, unless you were to either really find a map like we just did, or if you were to be wandering around in the overworld and accidentally come across it. Also, because I'm not certain if I've remembered to show you all, here is the dungeon map, which is notoriously difficult to use. It's quite annoying. In fact, I don't much like it at all. But as you can see, here we are. And this is a little secret room we just went into. That's where the skeleton was. This is the hallway where we came through. And you can just sort of, you can move it around. You can tilt it at an angle like this. And it shows you, you know, so there's the room again. Here's the hallway. And yeah, and you can rotate it a little bit if you want to. Yeah, it sure is something. The thing that most people find useful is over here. This is just sort of an overview of, if you were to zoom all the way out, this would be the shape of the dungeon, mostly. I believe the red pixel is you, the exit is blue. And then all of these are walls, and so the interior squares, which are squares that are not bordered, that are on the border, so without anything touching an edge, which would just be these ones right here, I believe, are going to hold a quest objective, and not any of the ones on the outside. And that's what most people use the map for, as well as checking for secret doors, because it will show one of these little entrance and exit markers, even if you haven't gone through to the other side. And I'll show you that a little bit more later once we get into a different dungeon, but for now, let's rest first, I think, and then we'll head out. And the map is a little bit yet less useful, just because you can't see any passages that you haven't explored. It's got this sort of fog of war effect going on, which is cool, but it doesn't show you very far beyond where you are, which is a little bit frustrating at times. So anyway, here we go, out into the world. And Daggerfall's map is quite huge. I'll show you that. Nope. Okay, here we go. These are all of your various areas, zones, kingdoms. Right now we are in Daggerfall, and that shows where we are, right here. Privateer's Hold. And that dot directly down here is Gothway Garden. And now we could, if we wanted to, we could find Daggerfall, and we could travel to it. We're not going to do that though, but if we wanted to, we could fast travel down to Daggerfall here. And that would get us there. It won't make the main quest progress any faster, because we do still need to wait for a note before we can find anyone else. So we're going to be heading down to Gothway Garden. We're not going to be fast traveling. It is directly due south, but I do just want to give you guys an idea of exactly how big the map actually is, because as you'll recall, there was no space in between. It was just one location in the net, and then the next. But down here, we're just heading south, going to find Gothway Garden. And it's going to take us a couple of minutes to get through there. I just want to give you guys a sense of scale of the game, because this game is genuinely huge. I cannot emphasize that enough. It is absolutely massive. I think bigger than the UK. I'm not certain. It's the largest static world game ever made. So, you know, things like Minecraft, which are randomly generated every time you load it up, are are going to be bigger, but this game is the same every time you load it up, and it is the largest. It has yet to be surpassed by any modern game, just the sheer size of it. You're now entering Gothway Garden. I don't really know what just happened there. It kind of froze up a little bit on me. Yeah. And that's the difference one square makes. But here we are in Gothway Garden now. It's a little I don't know if you've ever seen maybe the way the city of Daggerfall looks, but Gothway Garden is actually quite small. Hello there. What the hell do you want? Apparently they don't like us very much. So yeah. Let's get a room at the inn. Aw, didn't give us the classic tavern music. Come on, let's get a room. Just one day. Yep. And let's get ourselves, how about some wine? Because we can. Reward ourselves for getting out of there alive. And then all we need to do now is we're just gonna rest for a while. Get a good 8 hours. You wake up. Yep. And we can check. If you are in Gothway Garden, it is, oh wow, almost midnight. On Sundas, the 7th of Morningstar, in the eyes of the law of Daggerfall, you are a common citizen. We're gonna get a little bit more rest, just so we can go out and actually do things. Cool. Now we get to figure out how the hell we get out of here. Okay, here we go. Yeah, and you'll notice it is snowy. Daggerfall actually has seasons, unlike the later games. Gothway Garden will not look, you know, snowy and cold later on in the game, once we get into summer. Can you tell me the location of a general store? I want... about first class supply. Oh, come on. I'm a likable guy. I mean, not really, but you can tell me. By the Northern Sea. Let's try being polite this time. It's a little ways south of here. Just marked it on your map. Great. Yeah. So, polite checks your etiquette skill, I believe, and blunt checks your streetwise skill. There's really, I don't know the difference between each of these, but generally polite will get you what you want faster. And you'll see she gave us some Morrowind-esque directions of just head a little bit south, and then marked it on our map. And here's our town map, which is a lot more useful. And here it is, first class supply, down this way. And you'll see taverns are green, shops are orange, and guilds are blue. So I believe that's a mage's guild over there, but We don't really care about them yet. Now we could stop at a different store, but the reason that I want to go to first class supply is because I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, which Lord knows if I am, first class supply is one of the nicer shops, which means they'll give us a little bit more gold for each of the things that we sell them than would a slightly cheaper store. Let's see. No, wait. Here we go. This is the one we want. It wasn't actually first class supply. Shop is laid out. Yeah, so each of those, I'll show you a different one as well. Better appointed than many, its wares lie neatly on the shelves, although not fit for a king, all are skillfully crafted. So there are different levels, I guess, of quality in each shop. This is on the higher end, the other one was about medium, and then you've got 5, I think. The better shops you want to be selling things to, whereas the cheaper shops you want to be buying things from, generally speaking. That's the way you do it. This is, yeah, silver daikatana. Magic items. Tale of Kieran by... wow. Anyway, now it says we'll be getting 4,270 gold. We won't be getting that much. Yeah. 1,200. We'll take it though. We'll take it. And then you'll notice there's repairing. You can have a talk with him, which will generally get you a quest or something. But you actually go up to the shelves to buy things. So we could buy ourselves a cart, a horse, parchment, oil, all sorts of things. Books, Elven Wakizashi, Dwarven Battle Axe. Wow, that's actually pretty good. And then you can go up to this one, and we'll have slightly different things for sale. We could outfit ourselves a little bit nicer if we wanted to. But personally, I quite like the look we've got going now, which if anybody is curious, I can take off some of the things we've got right now, just to show what it is we're actually wearing, because there's no real reason to be armored to hell and back. Yeah, that's kind of cool. But it's also not particularly in character. I mean, he wouldn't necessarily be wanting... oh wow. Reversible tunic, yeah. You know, he's not looking to be particularly well put together. But he's not a barbarian, you know. Walking around naked isn't necessarily, or mostly naked, isn't necessarily what he wants to be doing. Yeah, we'll buy that. How about, I want to get the boy some pants, actually. A shirt. Wait, did I actually end up buying that or not? I did not. Dang it. Wasn't paying nearly enough attention. yeah, so you have the option to either steal it or buy it. We're gonna buy it because, well, we have the gold, and also it's ridiculously hard to get away with stealing in this game. Thief characters are not particularly viable, especially as compared to like Oblivion or Skyrim, especially. Short skirt, no. He doesn't really strike me as the skirt wearing kind. I'll go to a different shop, I think. You don't quite have what we're looking for, sir. Thank you, though. Okay. Oh, that's not a shop then. I thought it was. Oh, and you'll notice our magic bar is going down. That's because we picked, I believe, lowered magic ability in daylight, which it is right now. It is daytime outside, in case there was any confusion. Wow, these shops seem to really only have skirts. Could wear a toga. I don't think that's his color though. Casual pants. Yeah, that seems... that seems pretty acceptable. And then we'll take off our armor, just because we're in town. It doesn't really make sense to be walking around fully armored up like that. Yeah, there we go. That seems to be not a bad place to end our episode. From me and Tal here, yeah, I'll see you later. I hope you come back. Remember to like and subscribe, I guess. Yeah, see you next time.